Welcome to Karmaras.com. You can have a worse hand in this game and win. Conversely, you can have a great hand and play it poorly and lose. This game is entirely about strategy. It is one of the only games using the concept of chakras combined with karma and a little bit of strategy. Well, quite a lot of strategy. Decide who goes first. Draw 3 cards. You can hold up to 3 cards, but must play the remaining cards in your hand. To play your hand, lay your cards stacked, showing only the top bar of color on the card. No one knows but you if your cards have good karma points or bad karma points. On the bottom of every card, there is an icon that tells you how many cards you will draw next hand. You alone determine if you are losing cards in your hand or drawing cards on your hand. You will either be drawing 3 cards, losing 3 cards, drawing 6 cards, or losing 6 cards. This is determined by each player alone and is used as part of the strategy. Sometimes you may want to lose cards in your hand. For instance, suppose you have a lot of bad karma cards. Therefore, you would play one of the bad karma cards on top. That would cause you to lose 3 or to lose 6, depending upon which card you played. Important to note is that you determine out of your hand which 3 you discard back to the deck, or which 6 you discard back to the deck. Otherwise, you would play a positive 3 card or a positive 6 card. Next round, you would draw either 3 or 6. Your opponent can call out the bad karma cards. If they get it right, then the bad karma affects your current hand. If they get it wrong, then the bad karma cards reverse and affect their hand. The goal of the game is to get the highest score. You play 3 rounds, keeping score among all players. A round is complete once a player completes their sequence and balances out their karma. That equals 100 points. It is possible to complete your sequence with bad karma cards, negative points in it. But if a bad karma card is played by anyone after the sequence is complete, you will get the negative points in your hand. There are 2 main sequences or columns on the outside faces of the card. They represent the same number of total cards, 22. One sequence has slightly different colors, but both columns or sequences on the outside of the card represent 22 cards in the deck. There are currently 6 types of special cards in the deck that affect how the game is played. Snatch card. There is only one of these per deck. It allows you to snatch a card from someone else's column. Once used, it is put back to the bottom of the deck. Core card. Arguably the most powerful card, besides the wild card. It allows you to jump ahead in your sequence. It represents a total of 15 cards in the sequence. Alpha Omega card. This is the beginning of the sequence and the end of the sequence, representing 7 cards by one single card. If it is possessed along with the core card, that player wins the round. The only thing that can stop the scenario is if your opponent has a snatch card, which they could use to take back one of those cards. Wild card. As its name implies, the wild card can be anything you need it to be at any time, including a core card, an Alpha Omega card, anything at all. Good Karma card. This card changes the mode of play into good karma, which makes the split cards in the sequence, also known as switch cards, either good or bad. Bad Karma card. This card can be used to turn a switch card to bad karma. At the end of the game, if your opponent completes their sequence, which equals 100 points, but they have a bad karma card, you can convert all their bad karma cards into negative points, so their score for the round would be less than 100 if they had bad karma in their sequence. Play 3 rounds. The highest score wins. If you're cramped for time, play 1 round. Obviously, there are several strategies to playing the game. If you are trying to complete your sequence, or balance your karma, while at the same time dealing with the influence of the bad karma cards, you can play them as soon as you get them and suffer consequences immediately, or you can hold them for later, or you can hustle them, quote, hide them in your sequence. The game Karmaras is about dealing with negative and positive energy.